Hey everyone, okay, very different video today and a longer one. So YouTubers for NHS. Now, this video, all the proceeds from the Adsense will go towards the NHS here in the UK and help fight the COVID-19 because we're all experiencing that around the world. So all the money from this video goes to support the NHS here in the UK, which is incredible. But in order to do that, you have to sit through the ad breaks. So this is a much longer video so that there can be more ad breaks included. So I would appreciate it if you could just take the time and help support the NHS here. Okay, so I posted on Instagram, ask me anything, and you did. So let's make a start. So we've got here, I think it's Cat Jess 1212. What kind of music do you like to listen to? So I like a lot of music, but country music, really love country music, particularly the kind of country music from the 90s and early 2000s. Love all of that. Love Lena Marlin, Sarah McLachlan, Dana Glover. Dana Glover has an album called Testimony, and there's a song on there called Falling Into Love. And it is the most beautiful romantic song you have ever heard. It is divine. Heather Nova, but a lot of it is mainly, you know, kind of slower, soppy kind of stuff. Okay, so this one is called The Knitting Grog, I don't know. And it says, I want to know what started you on your passion for makeup and what did you do to pursue it with training, etc. So I remember being very small and with my mum's blue or green eyeshadow and just being fascinated with the colors. I did get formal training, but it was completely pointless because in the UK, there's no real qualification that says you are a makeup artist. It's not regulated. So you don't need to have a qualification to be a makeup artist. I'm a makeup artist. So, but I'm not saying that formal training isn't a good thing. It's always a good thing to get formal training on etiquette and hygiene and of course techniques and all of that kind of stuff, but it costs a fortune. It was so expensive. In the UK, it's sort of like £10,000 for some of these courses, if not more. Incredibly expensive, but I always just loved looking at makeup and touching it and playing with it. Just found it just so incredibly enjoyable. Okay, so CR8 Vic, VEHIC. Is there anything that you would like to change about the beauty industry? Yes, I would like it to be more honest. Enough of the 95% of people tested this product said that it blew their mind. Enough of the gives lashes 1,000 times more volume. I'm sick to death of all of that absolute bollocks. It means nothing. So 98% of people that tried this product said it blew their socks off, right? It did all these wonderful things. Well, unless you know who these people are and what their ages are and what their skin type is, and have they even used skincare before? If so, what were they using? You know, none of it, when you break it down to what it is, it's all bullshit, and I think that it should stop because it's absolute nonsense. So I've got this mascara and that I've created, and it's a really good mascara, and I want you to buy it when it comes out because it's a really nice mascara. It's not a magic wand. It will make your lashes blacker and thicker and longer. It does not make them look like you're wearing false lashes because no mascara really does that. It doesn't make them 10,000 times longer or thicker. It's not a magic wand. It's a mascara. Let's be honest about what we're trying to sell. Sell me a mascara that's really black and that will give you ultra soot black, gorgeous lashes, but don't tell me that they're gonna make it look like they're fake, because they're not. And don't tell me it makes them 10,000 times longer, because it doesn't. Okay, so Little Lou, L-O-U-E, what kind of education did you get, and and how did you get to be so sweet and kind and tolerant? So I've spoken about the education side of things. I think if people knew me in real life, they may not think I'm particularly sweet or tolerant. I just find bad behavior incredibly offensive. Now, I have a very sick, dark sense of humor, but in real life, I don't enjoy seeing people be mean to each other. I don't enjoy witnessing it on YouTube. I hate it on YouTube. I just expect people to be kind and be trustworthy, and to be as honest as they can be without hurting someone's feelings. I think YouTube is a very ugly place, especially the beauty community. You know, it's even a year ago, the absolute shitstorm that was going down, just outrageous. Okay, so let's have another one. This one is from Issa Patrola. I'm so sorry, I can't. It's these names, you know. I don't know what they mean. I don't know who they are, but I like the questions. Hi Wayne, I imagine you've been through a lot since you became a successful YouTuber and entrepreneur. Don't ever think of myself as an entrepreneur. Isn't that strange? Probably because I'm not, I guess. I'd also imagine it came at a price, as social media exposes a lot of unhinged people. Also, as an entrepreneur, you certainly had to share a deep disappointment. I'd like to ask you how you cope with all of that, and how do you manage your fear and anxieties and keep moving forward? That's such a good question. I had, about 8 or 9 years ago, my first panic attack. I've never had one before in my life. And they started because of something called a hypnic jerk. And this is something that I suffer with. And it is where you are going to sleep and you are suddenly jolted awake, so to speak. And I found it incredibly frightening because it happened over and over and over again in one particular night. And I went to the doctor and I thought there was something wrong with me and with my chest, because I had this incredible pain, this shock here. And when I was relaying this conversation to the doctor, I had a panic attack. And a panic attack then spirals out of control and you start to have more of them. And as such, I still avoid certain situations that can trigger them for me. Very loud noises in confined spaces like the cinema, things like that. But anyway, with regards to, yeah, I get very disappointed by human behavior and the way that we treat each other and the way that I've been treated in business, and you know, that whole mess that I spoke about before. And I do worry about things. I do worry about the future. I'm always concerned about, am I going to be okay? And am I going to be able to support the people I need to support? But it is a constant struggle. I have a very good sense of humor, I think, but I'm always been drawn to the dark horse, so to speak. So my cup is always half full as opposed to half, my cup is always half empty as opposed to being half full. So that is something that I struggle with. I don't really get depressed, but I do always look on the darker side of things more often than not. Okay, so here we go from Jenny F. Walker. Please, your thoughts on LED light therapy masks for home use. So everybody's different, but I truly think that they make a really big difference if you use them really consistently. So like popping one on for like once a week is pretty much not going to do very much, but I've been using them consistently. There's something I do after skincare, 10 minutes, I'm done. And I have loved them, but you got to use it. You know, I got no benefit when I was using it once a week or twice a week. Then I used it every single day. And I did notice such an improvement in just my skin. And it's hard to explain because it's not tangible, but it just looks so much better. And I just loved it. I just love it. Okay, so this one is called from Dentista Fashionista. What do you remember about the time you started your YouTube channel, and what were you going through and how did it all start? So I reckon it was probably a decade ago, probably 10 years ago that I started. And I started because there was a gap in the market. First of all, there weren't very many men doing it. And second of all, there wasn't really anybody teaching anything. So there were so many talented people on there showing all their amazing skills, which is just incredible. And I knew that I couldn't compete with that because I wasn't particularly artistic. Their talent far outweighs mine. But I knew that I could explain things relatively well. And that's why I wanted to start making videos. I honestly, truthfully didn't think anything would come of it. And but it did, and I'm incredibly grateful for everything that's happened. But that's why I started. I just wanted to be able to explain something, because I found makeup so incredibly difficult. I wasn't artistic. I still can't do face charts. I can't draw. And I wanted somebody to break it down, because that's what I needed, was to have something broken down into incredibly easy, simplistic steps. And once I'd figured all these things out, like how to do an eye or how to do a lip, I realized it wasn't that hard actually. And once you know how to do your own face, there's this thing where I'm going to buy new makeup because this new makeup will make me better. It will make me a better person. It will make me a better makeup artist. But once you know how to do your own face and you can do your own eye, you realize that you don't actually need all of that makeup. And it stops you wanting to buy it, because you're now able to use all the things you've got and have them look really great on your face. Okay. So this is, what is the first thing you want to do when this pandemic is over? And that's from Natasha Darlin. Hug someone, hug people, kiss them, put your arms around them. It's the most surreal, bizarre, frightening, scary, and you don't know what to believe as well, because the media is just filthy and lies, and social media is even worse. And you know you can't believe any of it, but you have to believe some of it, and you're stuck between this rock and this hard place, because you know everything's really serious, but you don't know what to think and who to turn to for true advice, because you know that with the COVID-19, you know that they say that 80% of people will have very mild symptoms, but you never hear of those mild symptoms. So you don't know what they look like or how they feel, because you only ever really see the 20%, the really horrific stories, which are just awful and heartbreaking. And you're kind of stuck, or at least I feel stuck, not knowing what is really going on in the world, because I just find it so confusing. And my distrust of social media, and of course of the media in general, newspapers and reporters, I feel abandoned, I suppose is want of a better word. Okay, so this one is from Onslow Emma. Really fab thing you're doing, Wayne. I'd like to ask you about self-tanning. It drives me mad every summer. It's a total palaver. Do you use it? Oh no, where have you gone? Do you use it, and do you recommend a good one? So I don't tend to ever use self-tanner myself. Once in a blue moon I'll try one, and they're all okay, but I quite like my own skin color. I don't go out in the sun to tan, and I don't really want to use one to tan, because I think, no, I want to stay the color I am. This is my color. And I feel content with that. But I know a lot of people feel much better with a tan. And it's true that a true real tan looks incredible. So I'm going to give you a secret, and I'll do a video on this. But get any fake tan you want, right? Go and buy a really cheap one from the supermarket or whatever. And buy some red food dye while you're at it. Now, a real tan, a true tan, has a red base to it, because it's a burn. You've been burnt. Even if you don't burn, it's a burn, right? And most self-tanners aren't red based. They're orange or olive, which is a little better, but still. So get your big bottle of your fake tan and dump in there a good teaspoon or more of red food dye, and just shake it up for the next hour, and then apply your fake tan. You'll find that the fake tan will look way better, because it has a redder base to it, and that will give you the illusion that you truly have a real tan as opposed to a fake one. Years ago, I went to see Charlotte Tilbury, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was to do with a press thing, and I used a fake tan, and she came up to me and she said, "What one are you using?" And I told her the same thing. Just dump some red food dye into the fake tan and shake it up, and I'm good to go. So there you go. Okay, so Velcro Kitty, if you could wear clothes from any period of time, which period would it be? Oh, that's such a lovely question. like the 1900s or something. I just thought they looked so smart. Or like the 1950s. They look so smart. The men look so smart and so handsome. They had those beards and everything. And I just find it such a handsome, smart, sexy time. I love that period. I just look back at some of the pictures from those eras. And, you know, even like the 50s, right? Cary Grant, the haircuts, the clothes, just so nice, so nice. Okie dokie. So, Kirsty178, are you okay with your family and everyone? Mine is not doing great. So, firstly, obviously, I am sorry that yours are not doing great. Perhaps you can let us know in the comments what's happening. My family, my mother is very well, thank you. She is self-isolating and she is very well, but she lives a good hour away by car. So I haven't been able to see her in 3 weeks, but we talk almost daily. So I believe that she's all right. Okay, so Miss Cat 232, I want to know what you recommend overall for your overall well-being during this time of year, and how do you stay motivated? I recommend doing whatever it takes to make it through, and that for you may be very different from me. I tend to self-isolate anyway. I'm not a huge people person at the best of times, so this isn't a massive difference to me, but at the same time, I think I never want to give advice on something where it's personal to you, if that makes sense, because something that I do, you may do and hate, and vice versa. But I do read a lot. Either if I'm not reading, I'm listening to a book, and if I'm not listening to a book, I probably got a book in my hand. So, you know, I'm not very exciting. RG and Viso, favorite snacks, cheese, but it does not like my stomach, but I do like cheese. Make-ups. I know it's not makeup related, but what makes you happy in general, everyday little things, and what in your life are you most proud of? Sending you lots of love, and I hope you're fine. Take care. I like to laugh. That's what makes me happy. If somebody can make me laugh, I am, I had a ting on my phone. I find them instantly attractive. It's amazing how attractive somebody can be if they're funny, and I do desperately love to laugh. I don't really know what I'm most proud of, if I'm honest. Not much, if I'm completely truthful. Okay, so let's just scroll through. So I did favorite some of them, and they're all disappearing. Artistry by Nancy. I should have spent a little bit longer in school learning how to read properly. Have you ever done makeup session whether it was direct, client or editorial, and they were dissatisfied? And if so, how did you respond or correct this? This is my biggest fear. Oh yes. So this is true. This isn't actually dissatisfied, but I poked somebody in the eye once with a mascara wand, and I really went like that totally by accident, but remember it like it was yesterday. Even now, all these years later, going in with a mascara, I'm like, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But in general, yes, there have been moments where you've done something that you're happy with and they're not. And to me, it really, I don't know how to explain it perhaps, but taking myself out of the equation. Now, I know what I like, and I may know what I like for you, but you may like gold eyeliner and silver lips. And if that really is what you want, and that's really what makes you happy, then who am I to tell you to wear a nude pink lipstick and, a smoky eye? It's none of my business. I am here to facilitate your happiness. Now, there is also a secondary problem now, which is social media. So everything is filtered, so everything is fake. And there is so much retouching and everything that they come and go, I want to look like this. And you go, well, I can't because they don't look like that. So you're fighting this losing battle. And also because of social media and YouTube and Instagram, people are so good at applying their own makeup now. They are as good as you. And that is also a really big concern. Okie dokie. La Dora. Hi, do you like doing makeup classes, and would you do them in other parts of the country, in the UK? I really think you're a gorgeous man. That's very kind. No, because I find I don't have the confidence, if I'm honest, to do a masterclass or any form of that kind of stuff anymore. I just find it, even the thought of it, just makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So I would almost certainly not. And as far as other countries are concerned as well, I absolutely desperately dislike to fly. And I have not been abroad or on any form of holiday in 12 years or so. And I've only ever flown a couple of times in my life, and I just absolutely hated it. I really did. This one is from, I believe it's Jim Iltree. I'm so sorry. What is your one guiding principle you've stuck to in life and in your work? Be kind. And I was going to say don't give up, but that's not true. I think it's, for me, I wasn't born to be an artist. There is no artistic integrity. I have no artistic ability, but I wasn't going to let that stop me from doing something that I loved, even though it didn't come naturally and it didn't come easy. I was just having none of it. I can remember thinking, oh, I can't do this eye, I can't do this eye. I can't do this eye yet, but I am going to learn. And it was only through breaking it down into the most ridiculous steps that I was able to learn how to do things. And that's how I approached makeup. I looked at the picture and I broke it down. How did they do that? What of these steps is really necessary for me? And that's how I worked it out. And if you're still here, one of the things that I learned is it wasn't just about the makeup. So I had opportunities to work with other makeup artists, really talented ones, and I got to film those sessions. But when I was sat there watching them, I wasn't just watching the makeup, I was also watching how they were sitting. Were they standing or were they sitting? Were they lying? How were they breathing? How were they holding the brush? Was it close up or low down? Were they face on or to the side? Those were the things that I was also looking at, because I wanted to pick these things up as well, because I couldn't pick up the techniques that they were doing because they were usually incredibly artistic and talented. But I could pick up other mannerisms and other ways that they would communicate, and then I could take back what I'd learned and then break it down. So if they would go into the crease of the eye with this crease brush and it would just be instantly gorgeous, and no matter what I did, I couldn't do that. I could then work out, well, how can I break this down so that I can get a similar result, even if I've got to use a different brush? And that's, I guess, how I do things. That answers the question. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. True skincare. If a curious individual came up to you and asked you for 2 important life lessons, what would you share? That's such a good question. Be kind. Always be kind. But I'd rather be kind than honest. There's the honest truth. I would rather be kind than unpleasant. And what would another one be? I don't know. See, to me, being kind, it takes so much effort to be unpleasant. You know, it's just such hard work to be unpleasant. We feel it from time to time, but this is true. I'm not going to use the word, but you know when you open the door for somebody and they don't say anything, and in your mind you go, beep, rude, or whatever it is. You're like, look at that rude expletive. And then you, of course, have become rude yourself by just doing that. And, you know, I find, I'm just rambling now. Okay, so Kendall Craft Works. Thank you for doing this. So much fun. My question would be, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? Not just makeup, but in life. I hope you and yours are doing well and staying safe. Love from small town in USA. Love a small town. Advice. just keep doing it. Just keep going, because you never know where it's going to take you. It may take you nowhere, or it may change everything. And keep going and stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Okay, so hey Wayne, I love you so much and I love your videos, so inspiring and help me learn. I wanted to ask you please to name one moment in your life that you always think back to and smile and feel genuinely happy. Details please, stay safe and well. And this is from Marthulu. Oh, I'm so sorry. These names, I find them incredibly difficult to say. These Instagram names. Is it bad that I don't actually know? Is that bad? I don't know of any moments that I look back and I'm just transported back. I don't know. It's such a good question, but the truth is it would be dishonest to give you an answer, because I truly don't know. But there is almost certainly lots, but I don't know. So to end this kind of Q&A thing, I really enjoy watching films, particularly documentaries. So exciting. I watched a documentary a while ago called Dear Zachary, and it was the most beautiful, moving and horrifying documentary. It was literally like having your heart torn out, stamped on and then put back in. It was incredible. I would love to know what your recommendations are for films. It doesn't have to be documentaries, but films in general. I like documentaries. I do like a period piece. Far from the Madding Crowd, Pride and Prejudice. Do love that kind of stuff. Horrors, thrillers, let me know. And let me know any music recommendations that you think I would possibly like, considering I'm very soppy. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching this long video. I really, truly do appreciate it. And hopefully we can do the same for you in your country. And if these kind of things are happening and I'm going to be keeping my ear to the ground with them, I promise you I will do a video to help support your country where this is happening also. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.